Welcome to the Financial Aid Office's Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing, or ABSN, Financial Aid tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be discussing financial aid eligibility, loan processes, and the online Locus student portal. ABSN students are eligible for federal and private student loans, the Federal Stafford Loan, and alternative student loan. Once a student has been admitted to the ABSN program, they have received their first bachelor's degree and therefore only eligible for federal student loans or private student loans. In order to be considered for financial aid, you must complete the federal financial aid application, the FAFSA, free application for federal student aid. During the time in the ABSN program, you will be required to complete the FAFSA twice for each academic year. For the Spring Cohort in the 2011-2012 year, you will complete the 2011-2012 FAFSA to determine aid for the Spring 2012 and Summer 2012 terms. Then you will complete the 2012-2013 FAFSA to determine financial aid eligibility for Fall 2012 and Spring 2013 terms. In the federal student loans, the Federal Stafford Loan includes a subsidized Federal Stafford Loan in which the federal government pays the interest while you are in school or in a grace period, and the unsubsidized Federal Stafford Loan in which you, the borrower, are responsible for the interest while you are in school. The private educational loans are also unsubsidized, so you, the borrower, will be responsible for the interest while in school. Financial aid eligibility is determined for you as a fifth year or senior student. So you receive $12,500 for each academic year, $5,500 in the subsidized Stafford loan, and then up to $7,000 through the unsubsidized Federal Stafford loan. Some of you will be considered dependent students when you complete the federal financial aid application. As you complete that application, you'll be required to include your parents' information. Dependent students may receive up to $15,000 through the Federal Stafford loans during the course of the ABSN program. Independent students can receive up to $25,000 through the Federal Stafford loan during the course of the program, spread out over the terms as illustrated on the screen. The federal government has two loan requirements that you will need to complete to borrow the Federal Stafford loan at Loyola University Chicago. You can do these online through the website www.studentloans.gov. You'll complete an entrance loan counseling session and complete a master promissory note promising to repay the loans after graduation. On our Financial Aid Office homepage, you can see the links for the entrance loan counseling and the master promissory notes under the Apply for Assistance heading and under the loan counseling and promissory note links. After the Federal Stafford loans have been determined, the private educational loans through private lenders would be the next step. Approval for these loans are based on your credit as the borrower. The interest rates will vary both by lender and by your status on the application. Your private loan eligibility is determined by your cost of attendance minus the amount of Federal Stafford loans that you have received. The cost of attendance is essentially the budget or the cost for you to complete the entire program. It consists of two types of expenses. There are direct expenses that you are billed by the university. This will be what shows on your e-bill, costs for tuition and fees. And then if you live in our residence halls, it would be your on-campus room and board. Indirect expenses are expenses associated with your education that are not included in your e-bill. This would be for books and supplies. This would be personal expenses, off-campus room and board. We estimate reasonable rent, electric, and phone for the 13 months of the program. Transportation and travel expenses, the supplemental types of expenses, would also be included in that cost of attendance when we determine your eligibility for federal student loans. The amount of the Federal Stafford loans over the course of your program are going to be limited to the maximums that the federal government permits. This, as shown on your screen, would be illustrating the costs for the dependent students during the course of the accelerated nursing program. In determining private loan eligibility, you can think about total amount you have as the total of the cost less the amount through the Federal Stafford loans. As an example, if the total cost of attendance as illustrated is $72,483 removing the financial aid, would say that you could borrow private educational loans through the alternative loans of $47,214. We will always encourage you to borrow only what you need, but it'll represent the maximum amount that you can borrow in those private loans. We will show that to you on Locus as an eligibility for ABSN private loan to give you a target in which to do your approvals with the private educational loans. We show you a sample page in Locus of what your financial aid award is going to look like, showing you the subsidized federal Stafford loan, the unsubsidized federal Stafford loan, and then the eligibility for ABSN alternative loan, which gives you that maximum amount that you could borrow if you so desired. In the private loans, we will break the eligibility up over terms. The private loan eligibility will be not certified for spring and summer. We won't be able to certify it over all 4 semesters. One loan for spring and summer, and then one loan for fall and for spring. This is the typical way that accelerated nursing students would secure private educational loans. It is possible to have 4 separate loans for each term. Since these are credit-based, in most cases it is going to be preferable to follow the first option, which one loan is brought for fall or for spring and for summer, and then one loan for fall and for spring. The way to apply for the private loan is fairly simple. It's all done through the Financial Aid Office's homepage, leading you to the private educational loan. You're going to apply for it directly through the lender's website. The lender will approve you for the loan, and then will send the Financial Aid Office a request to certify your eligibility as a student at Loyola for this loan. Once we have certified the loan back to your lender, the lender will then be able to complete the loan process by dispersing funds directly to the university. Funds will be dispersed for private loans, as they are for the federal Stafford loan, to the university and will be applied by the Office of the Bursar, first to cover the direct expenses of tuition, fees, on-campus room and board. Any funds in excess of your balance are issued to you in the form of an excess credit refund by the Bursar's office. In Locus, you may establish a direct deposit so that this refund can be made electronically from the university into your actual bank account. All financial aid information is saved in Locus for you, and you should use Locus as your 24/7 real-time view of your financial aid. You may visit the Student Center in Locus to access financial aid and billing accounts. This is a view of the Student Center in Locus. This is your self-service portal. Again, in the finance parts of things, you're going to be able to access your account summary by term. You can view your e-bill. You can view your financial aid. And you can also view your to-do list. Your to-do list would identify any items that are waiting for you to complete in order to finalize your financial aid. The Stafford Loan Entrance Counseling and Promissory Note are illustrated here, and those are 2 examples of things that ABSN students will often see in their to-do list. The account summary by term shows the individual term charges and then reflects the financial aid that will be applied against those charges. In looking at the account summary by term detail, you can see all of the charges for the spring semester. It'll look something like this when you access your Locus, and then bring it up to a total charges, and then you can scroll down further to see the financial aid. The financial aid awards are going to be shown as anticipated credits until the beginning of the term, when they are able to be applied into the university account. And so you can see the detail following through for each of the terms as we have illustrated on here. And you can scroll further down to see the term balance. Do be aware that when your financial aid is in an anticipated status, it won't be shown as a credit. You can do the math in order to remove it from the charges to see what your overall term balances is. But it'll be showing you right now a term balance that it just represents the charges less any deposits that you've made. And again, you could also see your refund activity for those who exercise loans that are in excess of the charges through this page as well. The View Financial Aid in the Student Center lets you navigate your financial aid award, lets you see what types of financial assistance has been processed for you. You'll choose the appropriate aid year. It will be the 2012 aid year for those of you beginning in spring 2012. Clicking on the link for the award year, you can see the details for the individual financial aid awards that you have, and it will go through and show the financial aid as completed. And again, the eligibility will show only as offered. It will move into being an actual loan once you have been approved and Loyola has been requested and completed the certification for that. Again, here as you scroll down, you will be able to see the awards broken out by the individual terms that they are associated with, so that you can view the different types of assistance that will be processed for you. The awards themselves will be shown in their gross status, so it will not be net of any loan fees, but it'll let you know the amounts that are being set up to be processed for each term. And again, here you can see the eligibility for the alternative loan split between the two terms within the academic period. We have additional information for you beyond what you saw in this tutorial. On our Financial Aid Office's website, we have a specific page for the ABSN students, and also for the ABSN Financial Aid Awards. So the links on your page here will be able to then guide you further to get information about the financial aid associated with the ABSN program. Next steps for you as we wrap up this tutorial. The next steps first are to complete, if you have not done so already, the 2011-2012 FAFSA to apply for financial aid for the spring 2011-2012 semesters. Following right behind that first FAFSA to complete the 2012-2013 FAFSA. You can begin that anytime after January 1st, 2012. Most students will be completed in February and March so that you are prepared for the following fall and summer or fall and spring financial aid. You only need to complete the entrance counseling and master promissory note steps for the federal Stafford loans just this one time. Each of those will apply for all the federal Stafford loans that you receive. We saw the to-do list on your tutorial. Once you complete these steps, those items will be removed off of the to-do list. And again, you're going to have the eligibility for the federal Stafford loans split out between the subsidized and unsubsidized Stafford loans as we discussed earlier in our tutorial. And again, if you do need additional funds beyond the federal Stafford loans that are determined through the FAFSA process, you can exercise through those private or alternative student loans to then fill in whatever cost of attendance you wish and whatever cost of attendance you need over and above the federal Stafford loans. Contact information for you, the hub, Student Services Hub on the first floor of the Sullivan Center should always be your first stop. They can see students on a walk-in basis anytime between 8:30 and 5 o'clock. No appointment is necessary to get any kind of guidance on the financial aid or billing processes. To contact our office, you may reach us by phone at 773-508-7704. We do have an email address, absnfinaid@luc.edu. That is specific for students in the accelerated nursing program so that you may both be contacted and make contacts with us, with counseling staff who specifically are going to be able to react to and answer your questions associated with the accelerated nursing. As you're going to be on campus, we encourage you to stop by the hub or contact us with any questions. Thank you very much for viewing our ABSN financial aid tutorial.